Hey guys, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the mindset secrets behind multiple six-figure businesses. Hey guys, my name is Krista Kathleen, and I am the founder and CEO of Born to Coach, and I'm also a professional life coach, a spiritual business owner. And I am so pumped and excited to have you guys here today because I am interviewing my coach, Jessica Riverson. I've been working with her for the past year and a half. So you get to meet the coach's coach. And I truly believe that it is important for every coach to have their own coach and support system. And so I've been professionally working with coaches for over the past 9 years now. And Jessica has been such a big part of my growth and my business success in the last year and a half. So I'm so excited for you guys to get to know her. Jessica is located in Seattle, Washington. She has been in the coaching industry for over 20 years now and is a multiple six-figure business owner, has a very successful practice, and she is going to be spilling all of her insider secrets on what she had to shift internally in order to create the success that she did for her business practice. Welcome to the YouTube channel, Jessica. Happy to have you here.
Thank you. So excited.
Yeah. Anything
Such an
else
honor.
that you wanted to share with our audience about who you are and anything with your story?
Gosh, there's so much to tell just from where I started to where I am now. But I will say that something I'm really proud of is over the years I've developed my brand and I've had many iterations. And so the thing that I've launched in the last couple of years is my feminine energy program. So just as you go along in your business, as you grow and develop, then your business expands and it takes these different twists and turns. And I think having an online coaching business or just a coaching business it's a blessing. It's really, really fun. It grows with you as you grow. You can do anything you want. I've led the most amazing retreats around the world, VIP days around the world. I mean, I've just done so many cool things because of my business. So I'm just really grateful and excited to share about it.
Yeah, I always love to tell new coaches that are thinking about deciding if they want to get in this industry or not that, yeah, when you have your own coaching business, there's so much that you can do with it. The possibilities are limitless. And I have attended one of your retreats so far in Seattle, and I'm getting ready to attend your retreat in Tulum. You put on amazing retreats. So I'm really
Thank
looking
you.
forward to that. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be amazing.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Okay, so our first question today, Jessica, is what are the core mindset shifts that moved you from solopreneur to six-figure CEO?
Okay, so I'll just give a few because I feel like I could be here for hours with you and do this. But the first one that really came to mind for me is what I would call this like solopreneur struggle. So when you start your business, a lot of times we start in that solopreneur mindset where we're doing everything. So you're trying to do your bookkeeping and your accounting and then your coaching and then your marketing and then you're doing the admin and then you're doing the tech and you're just doing everything. And that is something that we really need to shift into more of okay, I own a company, I'm a CEO, and that shift is really, really important if you want to hit your first six figures, hit multiple six figures, or many of my clients have gone beyond that into seven figures per year. So that's something that's really important is getting out of that mindset that you have to do it all yourself.
Yes, and you have lovingly challenged me and called me out on this several times over the past year of as I've been, growing my Born to Coach company, and sometimes where I was still pricing and making decisions from a place of acting like a new coach, even though I've been coaching for 9 years. So, right, it's so easy to get stuck in the past and to say, if I want to expand and move forward and serve at a higher capacity and level that I have to do it from this new mindset and I need more support. I can't do everything myself, growing your team. And so, yeah, I'm so grateful that you've helped me to do that.
Yeah, well, and one thing I'll add is that I I had a VA in my coaching business from the very beginning. And, maybe that's because I already had another company that I ran. I started a franchise. Well, I bought into a franchise when I was 25. And so I think somehow I got the idea that I needed support. And I'm so glad that I got that idea because then when I started my coaching business, I had a VA. And I think in the beginning, I was paying her and I wasn't even paying myself at first, but I knew that I needed to have her do the things that I wasn't good at and I needed to stay in my zone of genius. So that's really the shift is like staying in your zone of genius and not trying to do it all.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. My first person I hired, I believe, was a virtual assistant as well. And it was really scary to make that decision, but it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. So sounds like for you as well. And yeah, it's just so nice to be able to delegate tasks that you don't want to do anymore or that keeps you out of your
Or
zone
you don't know how to do.
or don't know
Like,
how to do. And yeah, it's so much more fun and easier to run your business when you're not trying to do everything yourself. Yeah.
absolutely. Well, I have two more for you. So the next one was around sales because that's obviously a huge part of growing your coaching business is attracting the dream clients, the ones that you really want to serve. So that shift was about selling value. And so you want to sell on the value of what you deliver. And so I actually trademarked the phrase permission to charge. So that was like when I started my business, I started realizing so many coaches and entrepreneurs weren't charging their worth. So I created this brand around permission to charge, and it really skyrocketed. Like that, me tweaking that messaging and like niching down on that is what made my business go, which is a whole other story. But um, that piece, I think that where my self-esteem was and my self-worth was, I was still developing, I was still growing, as we always are. And so I didn't really understand like charge your worth. I mean, now I don't use that phrase anymore. I don't have that particular brand anymore because I kind of outgrew it. But if you say charge your worth, like you could never charge your worth, right? Like we are so valuable and worthy. So what I learned is to sell on the value of the transformation you deliver and kind of disconnecting your pricing from your feelings about yourself. Well, yes, go work on those though. You need to work on those. But a lot of times we have those pieces combined where it's like, how valuable do I think I am? How worthy am I? Am I good enough? And so then we're kind of pricing based on that. And we're not looking at like, well, what is this transformation or this service? What is it worth to the client? And so the beauty of it is you get an opportunity to work on yourself and work on your own self-worth that's kind of showing up in your pricing. But at the same time, when you're on that journey, you do need to like be able to look at it objectively and say like, am I charging so little because I don't think it's worth it? Or is this something that's really going to change their life? And we need to charge in a way where they're going to value it. Because if you charge too little, they won't. So that was a big one for me is selling on the value. And then should I go in the third one?
Sure. Yeah.
The third one that I think was really big for me also kind of has to do with sales, but it applies to your whole business. And this is a phrase that I came up with it one day and I've said it a million times now. Your mission must be bigger than your ego. Your mission must be bigger than your ego. So when you are doing discovery calls, a lot of times what happens as new coaches, we're like, gosh, I hope they sign up. Like, I got bills to pay. Like, oh my God, I've had so many discovery sessions and, I want to sell my like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, $5,000 package or whatever it may be. And you're just kind of on the edge of your seat, like, oh, I hope they enroll. And I just remember going through so many discovery sessions where I was just like sweat beating down my forehead and so nervous. And I would kind of like squeak out my prices and be so scared. And as I learned, I realized that, it wasn't about me. It kind of piggybacks on the second one where we talked about self-worth. That when I'm enrolling someone in a program, it's not about me. It's not about now I'm good because I enrolled someone or phew, I'm successful or oh great, now I can pay this bill or it's not about that, right? It's
Right.
your mission has to be bigger than your ego. So the more you tap into the why that makes you cry, like the thing that really you're passionate about. Why do you do this business? Why do you offer coaching? It's not the easiest business to get into. I'll just say that. Like there's a lot of other businesses that might be easier. This one requires a lot of you internally to really step up and become a leader. So your mission about what it is you're doing in the world, it's got to be bigger than your ego mind that's like worried about how you're going to look. What if they think I'm charging too much? What if they don't like me? All of that stuff. But you get to work on that, right? So that's good. I'm not saying stuff your ego down. Like you get to work on that with your coach, which I know in
Mhm.
your program, they get life coaching. And those are the things that
Yeah.
you want to work on with your life coach and heal those things so that when you are on a discovery call, you can lean back, you can just be there for them, holding space. You're not selling coaching. You are selling transformation. You are enrolling someone in their own transformation. So when people sign up with me nowadays, instead of in my mind going, oh my God, thank you, thank God, right? In my mind, I'm like, great, awesome. And then what I say to them is I say, congratulations, I'm so excited for you. It's no longer about me and whether I'm successful or not, or whether I sign another client or not. I can
Right.
like really be in a neutral space. And also, I can turn away clients that aren't a good fit, which
Mhm.
in the beginning of a coaching business, a lot of times, what do? We kind of take what we can get.
Yep.
So, all of there's like so much growth in
Yeah.
building a coaching business.
So good. So good. Okay. So just to quickly recap what you said, the last two things was learning how to price based off the transformation that you are offering, and then letting your mission be bigger than your ego or the why.
Yes.
Finding the why that makes you cry is what got you to that next level of income in your
Yes.
good.
Absolutely.
Cool. Okay. Next question is, what limiting beliefs did you have to let go of or unlearn to reach your next level?
Definitely the guilt around charging, like thinking it
Mhm.
made me selfish or less spiritual. I definitely started my business from a spiritual standpoint, feeling like everyone has a gift and a purpose, and they get to monetize that if they want to, and really build a successful, amazing business around those spiritual gifts. So I'm very passionate about that. So I had to let go of, I remember in my first business, someone calling on the phone and they asked how much I charged, and I told them, and they were so upset. And I just remember thinking, oh my God, I'm a horrible person, you know? And so I had to work through all those money beliefs. I ended up getting certified as a money coach. That was one of the first certifications I took, or like one that I took pretty early on. And I had to really switch up my relationship with money. And I was raised by two accountants. And so they were, their belief was a little bit more like, don't spend money kind of thing, right? Like, and I had to really switch and realize like you're investing. When you're spending your money, you're investing in things. And so if you're charging, you're giving someone an opportunity to invest in themselves. And you're not doing anything bad, you're not doing anything wrong. Also, I had to reframe sales as a value exchange. I hear a lot of coaches say, I hate asking for money. And it just makes me cringe because I'm like, you're not asking for money. You're not asking for money. You're doing a value exchange,
Yep.
right? Like this is the thing. 99.9% of the time, like, I mean, if you've attracted an ideal client, you have something they need.
Hmm.
You don't need anything from them unless you're in the ego and you're like, oh my God, I need to make a sale, right? Like you don't need anything from them. You've got what they need. They have a problem. Your coaching offer solves that problem. So it's a value exchange. And I think that's something that like I really had to clean up. And then I would say the last piece on that would be, you know, just recognizing that again, I'm offering them a transformation. I'm selling a transformation. I'm not taking something from them. I'm offering them a chance to resolve that problem, whatever it may be that they present with. I'm giving them an opportunity like I can help you. Here's how we can resolve this. So you're solving problems as a coach.
Mhm.
And people are paying to get their problems solved. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to normalize that more for coaches that they're not doing anything wrong or bad
Mhm.
by charging money for their services or even, high dollars for their business. People do that all day, every day on this earth where they pay for a service that they believe in. Like you said, that's going to help them to solve a problem. So, yeah, I think
Yeah.
that messaging is really important.
Yes.
Okay. So, next question is, how did your relationship with money evolve on the journey to six figures?
Yeah, so a quick little backstory is, I was a teen mom, a single mom, college dropout. I had my son when I was 18. So I have a 27-year-old son. And, so I started out as someone so I was a coach for 10 years working with an organization, and it was my expensive hobby. So it wasn't my business. I wasn't paid. Meanwhile, I had that franchise that I had bought into, and I was running that. So I was learning how to run a business. Then I decided I want to get paid for my coaching. Like the coaching thing, that's my real passion. So I had some business experience under my belt. I had a lot of coaching, like 10 years under my belt. And then I decided to make it a business. But when I started charging $50 an hour. And now, at this point in my career, the highest I've charged and received is 75,000 per year per client. So that's a huge, like, how do you go from $50 an hour to charging 75K per client? And I have never finished college, so I'm still, you know, it's not like I suddenly changed that. I mean, I've been training to be a coach for over 20 years, so that's my college. But I've made a huge shift in my relationship with money. And I couldn't tell you all of it because it's been over 20 years, but I will tell you that one thing that's huge is I stopped seeing money as a scarce resource
Mm.
and as something that, you have to try to get it and like hoard it and hold it. I believe that money is energy. It's everywhere. If you can create value, you can receive it. If you start to understand how to create value, you can get really good at earning money. So that's something I feel like I started to become really good at, earning larger and larger amounts of money. I got really good at charging more amounts. There's not really an amount of like if I don't have a $200,000 offer, but if I did, I would have no problem saying it's $200,000 because I've worked through so much. I mean, I would want to make sure, as any coach would, that I feel confident in what that offer is,
Sure.
but I wouldn't have a problem saying it to the right person because I now realize that when you are like in service to your genius and you're in service to your dream client, that it's basically like I believe we serve our soul group. We all have a soul group we're meant to serve. So you really can't make the wrong offer to the right person. And so just recognizing all of these little beliefs I had around money that needed to shift. I was always working on my relationship with money. I was always seeing how I related to money was a mirror, and it's a relationship. And so if you don't have enough in your bank account, okay, so maybe you're not showing up in your relationship with money. Maybe there's an area that you've overlooked, that you're not showing up fully in your relationship with money. And once you heal that gap, now boom, money's always there. And so there was a lot of incidents like that where I had to, and I continue that journey of how am I relating to money and what am I making it mean about myself? Because a lot of the meanings we make about money just aren't even true.
Absolutely. Yeah, you've helped me a lot in my money journey and relationship this past year. You've done a lot of somatic work with me. So I truly understand what it takes to be able to confidently put a $75,000 offer out there and to be able to back it up and stand behind it, how much nervous system regulation that takes and coaching and
Right.
shadow work. So I just kudos to you, Jess, for all the work you've done to get to that point. It's amazing.
Thank you. And that's one of my favorite things is I've definitely helped a lot of clients. I kind of have been counting in my head of how many clients I've helped sell 100K offers, and then I've helped even more sell like 30, 40, 50K offers. And I think a good thing to just say, a disclaimer is I don't tell people you should charge $50,000. It might sound really, really crazy, but there's certain clients that just know that they want to serve at that level, and it just depends on the like what they're delivering, right? So it doesn't mean everyone, you got to charge what you feel aligned with, but I do tend to attract subject matter experts who've been in the field for a long time, and they just know
Mhm.
that they are called to serve at this like elite level, and it's a fun place to play in. It's
Mhm.
really good.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next question.
All right.
So what's a mindset trap you see smart, talented coaches fall into over and over again?
Yeah, so I would say the top one is I call it getting ready to get ready. And it's
Mm.
a loop. So you're obsessing over your logos, your branding, messaging tweaks, and all the while avoiding actual revenue generating activities. So a lot of newer coaches do that. I did that as well. I remember building a website for like 6 months with somebody. And then one day I was like, I don't like the colors, scratched it completely, started over with someone else. I call that my faux launch. Like 2 years masterminding with people, like a little free mastermind I put together, work like getting together with other ladies and just talking about our business. Like 2 years of that, no paying clients. And so I call it's a stage. It's not, I'm not shaming anybody, but you got to be aware of it, right? And it's like if you're getting ready to get ready, you're not doing revenue generating activities. So you're not out there speaking locally, posting daily, um, pitching yourself to be on a podcast, going to networking meetings, like just talking to people. Clients come from conversations. So if you're not out there having these conversations and doing revenue generating activities, then you're probably not going to see the results that you want. And I will add one more thing is like the second part of this mindset trap is that, okay, you're like, all right, well, I'm in action. I'm doing revenue generating activities. I'm doing all these different things. Yeah, keep doing them. You've got to master
Yeah.
each one of those things. Like, for example, I saw a lot of coaches speaking and attracting clients that way. So I was like, well, I'm going to speak. So I get out there in all these Seattle networking groups and I'm like inviting myself, hey, I can speak to your group for free about this topic. And I asked and asked and asked and asked, and I would get yeses the more I asked, and then I would go speak, but then I wouldn't get any clients. It took me almost 2 years before I could reliably say, if I speak, I'm walking out of there with a high ticket client, probably more than one. It became reproducible and repeatable and reliable,
Yep.
but not until I mastered that skill. So it's not just you need to take a lot of action, you got to like master that, like you've mastered your YouTube channel. That's where your clients come from.
Yeah, that's a
You've
good
dedicated
point.
yourself.
The first couple years, I didn't see any traffic or success from my videos, but I kept at it. And then now it's how I find all my clients and coach training students all over the world. But yeah, it took a couple years. So you're right. Any new business strategy you put in place, just know it is going to take a couple
And
years
that
to
might be a good
master it.
mindset to just go, you could just tell yourself it'll take a year or less because we want to leave possibility for something just working immediately, of course.
Sure,
But
sure.
if you just tell yourself, what's that saying, 10,000 hours to mastery? You're going to have to put your 10,000 hours in.
Yep, absolutely. So, how do you stay confident when the results or clients aren't showing up yet?
Yeah. So that is hard.
It is hard.
um, and this is again why I say you want to work with coaches, you want to master skill sets and things like that so that you can actually track your progress. I had a client the other day who's a little bit more new, and she was like, "Gosh, I've been posting for daily for over a month, and didn't really get anything." And I said, "Well, you did tell me that two people reached out about your program. They didn't buy, but they asked for more information." And I said, "Look, that was a new offer you were talking about. And the fact that two people reached out, even though they ghosted you later, I get it, but they asked for information. So that, and this is someone who like is creating a new offering And in my opinion, her personal brand is not solidified. So that month and a half where she was just every day just showing up in that message, it was working. So, when you feel like something's not working, you need to understand what success markers are. And, people asking questions, people showing interest, those are some of the initial markers. And so I think that's also important. I get it. If you're doing something over and over and over and not seeing a result, you start to go like, well, does this even work? But that's why you need to have a coach. That's why you need to have someone that can see what
Exactly.
you can't see, that can tell you. And also, like, I think this is kind of, it's probably all people, but I think also as women, sometimes we're really keyed into perfectionism. So we're like all or
Mhm.
nothing. If I didn't reach the goal, then it's just nothing. And it's like, no, no, no. You've actually made progress and you need to see it through completely. So I always feel like, source is my source. Clients aren't my source. God is my source, right? So when I'm feeling lack or I'm feeling like something's not working, I have to resource myself. I have to connect back
Mhm.
to spirit, source, God, whatever you want to call it. I've got to, or to your higher self, you got to connect back into your higher power and get fueled there instead of needing clients showing up to make you feel good enough.
Yeah. Yeah. One of my past coaches said that you should never, if you implement a new business strategy and it's been less than 3 months, you should never like look at it and say that it hasn't started working yet. So I like
I
kind
love
of that,
that.
like give yourself 3 months of consistently doing a new strategy and then start to look at the data, the numbers, and see what needs to be tweaked. And I do also agree with you. With me, my spirituality, tuning into my spiritual business team, my chief spiritual officer, it's everything. And if I did not have that spiritual support, I probably would have given up a long time ago because it's just so easy to say, like you said, no one's buying, no one's liking my posts, this isn't working. So I love what you said. Source is your source. And when you feel like things are getting hard, giving up, go internal, go inside first, and then have a coach as well. Having a coach is I always tell people I would not be where I am today. I would have not been able to quit my nursing job and be full time as a coach and still be in the coaching industry for 9 years if I didn't have amazing mentors and coaches to
Me,
keep me going
me
strong.
too. Me too. That's
So
been my
important.
biggest investment, and
Yeah.
I've made really big investments in my business. But my biggest investments have been mentors for sure.
Yeah.
$100,000 per year mentorship. Like, it's go all in on mentorship. That's gonna, I'll just say one thing about that is it might seem crazy sometimes when you make a really big investment, but the thing is, who you become along the way changes everything. And when
Yes.
you're investing in yourself, your ability to earn, your ability to sell, your ability to have a large capacity to hold space, all of those things, that stays with you forever. No one can ever take that away. So those
Yeah.
investments aren't just, oh, $20,000 or something like that. It's actually, no, that $20,000 investment that you made now allows you to make millions for the rest of your your life.
Ah. Yeah, the best investments I've ever made are with my coaches and coach training. And I still use those skills every day. And yeah, so I know in the moment it can be really hard to make those purchases and those decisions. But when you look at it over the long run, you're going to get way more out of that than buying a nice purse or a
Yeah.
luxury car. Even though those things are great, I'm not knocking those.
And you can have both.
You
You
can
can
have
have both.
both. Right, right. Okay, so our last question, Jessica, is what is one mindset ritual or practice you never skip, no matter how busy you get?
Oh, okay. Well, it's definitely what we were just talking about, like from the somatic and nervous system work that I've been trained in. It's closing my eyes, checking in. What am I noticing? What sensations are going on? What am I experiencing? So I'm not going to say I'm sad. I'm going to say, oh, I'm experiencing sadness. So I'm going to let that emotion
Do
kind of flow
the
through me.
petting. you taught us.
Yeah, yeah. This is a nervous system regulation technique. And you can even
And
just
then the
say,
ears too.
I'm experiencing frustration and it's okay. And it's just like being able to, I guess, soothe myself and nurture myself and connect with myself, which is also a way of connecting with, for me, it's connecting with my body, but also like with God, with spirit. And so that I can do anytime, anywhere. So that's the one I would say I do the most without skipping, because in any moment when I just am not like I'm in my head or something, I can just drop into my body and get back like connected to,
Mhm.
my wisdom.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for all the somatic exercises you've taught me over the years, and I practice them with all my coach training students now because as coaches, we need to learn how to be well regulated if we're going to be able to hold deep space for our clients because they're going to be bringing all their fears, worries, anxieties to us. So I'm so grateful that for all those practices you've taught me, and I'm definitely will keep using those for myself and keep passing them down to my students too.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah. Okay. Any last words or thoughts that you want to share with our audience before we wrap up?
I would just say that, like, for me, my biggest key to success is just um persistence. So, if you can just be persistent and keep your, like, what you know to be true, your purpose, your spiritual gifts, if you keep that in the forefront of your mind, and like I said, don't make it about the ego mind, and like, yes, we're human, so we don't want to deny that, but like really go with your higher self, your higher power, go with your intuition
Mhm.
and stay persistent to that vision, it's going to be so much easier. You're going to feel more authentic. You don't have to try to build a business like somebody else, which I did for a long time. You just have to be true to you and true to what you know you were put on this earth to do and to serve and to deliver. And if you do that, everything will be easier, especially if you have great mentors to help you along the way.
Yes, such great advice. Yes, your intuition is everything when building a successful business. So, thank you so much, Jessica, for being here. And I will include all of your links below the video. So that way, if anyone, connected with you today, they can reach out and continue to connect with you. And just for everyone watching, I do have an ICF accredited Born to Coach Training Academy. After watching this, if you're like, I'm ready, I want to train to become a certified professional coach, we can help you to do that and earn your ICF credentials. So we have more information about our program below the video. We also have a Born to Coach mastermind as well too. This is really great for certified coaches who have already been able to create paying clients, and you want to take your business to that next level of maybe like quitting your full-time job and going full-time in your business, or hitting $5,000 months, $10,000 months, creating group coaching programs, retreats. So those are my two offerings at this time. And thank you so much. Make sure you like and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, bye.